Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here on a Thursday. I know we sometimes do on Friday, sometimes do on Thursday, but we're feeling frivolous on a Thursday this week for our Kill Bill style happy hour. Um, I hope you've got a beverage if you do participate in the alcoholic beverage drinking, or you're just, in a good Thursday mood. It's nearly the weekend. It's nearly the weekend. As you can see, I still am in need of a haircut. I'm, given Rapunzel realness right now. How's everybody doing? Sound off in the comments. What's going on? We having a good Thursday? Did we survive the weather, the crazy storm of the other day? Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with our guest today. Our guest today is an amazing artist who's actually created a lot of the Colonial Theatre's personalized posters. So without further ado, let's get started. Please welcome to the stream, Chris Garafalo. Let's see if we can get this to work. Hello, Chris.
Hey, there we go. Absolutely.
Yay, I can hear you. Woo!
Yeah.
We didn't have any technical issues. That's so far.
We're good. We're good.
How are you today? What's going on?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Just a million things going on with all the art stuff and been a busy day, but awesome. And I was looking forward to this all day for us to get into this. So, yeah, I'm excited about it personally. It's gonna be fun.
What are you drinking today?
Today I've got the Dewey Beer Company. It's a fruited sour. It's a strawberry marshmallow raspberry sour. It is it's delicious. As you can tell by the color, it's beautiful.
Well, cheers to that. Cheers.
Absolutely.
Ding, 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 ding. I have just a plain old vodka with lemon soda. So
hey, that's an old reliable though. You can't go wrong with it.
And actually, exactly. And I have Bluebird's vodka, which I'm making a drink with later, and it gives a little bit of a sweet quality to it as well.
Yeah,
I'm all about it.
Absolutely.
Where did you say your beer is from?
Dewey Beer Company, which is outside of Delaware, Dewey Beach. They do a lot of sours during the summer because of the beach community, and every single thing they release looks like candy to me. So yeah, getting this one was wonderful because the series is. I had one when I was down there. It was a pineapple tangerine orange that was it was like a mimosa, and I was like, this is dangerous. People are gonna love this.
Just drinking it like a Capri Sun.
Oh yeah, it's way too easy. But for the summer, it's beautiful. It cruises right through, and people just really enjoy them. So they're nice guys too. The brewers are wonderful. They're just really genuine people. They just want to make good beer. So I like supporting it, and their stuff's great.
I know. I feel like I don't have a good sense of other breweries than in Phoenixville because we have so many good ones.
Root Down's awesome. Yeah, Root Down's a great spot. I love that.
I do love them too. They have a triple IPA
that one's really
right
good.
now.
Flying Guillotine, also a good one.
Actually, that one was the first one that allowed me to like IPAs.
Yeah,
so I thank them for that.
Yeah, they are doing wonderful things there. I've not even had an average beer from them. I've had only really good beers from them. So they're doing great things out there.
I see Gianna's in the comments. She's saying I need a little bit of garnish to fancy it up a bit. Well, here's the thing. The drink that I'm making later is pretty fancy, so I thought I'd start off really humble.
That's nice. Yeah, start with your roots, build up to it. That's
exactly. Nice. I was I'm not going to go too crazy. Well, thanks for making time for us today. I'm really happy to have you.
Absolutely.
Now, for people that don't know you, what is the situation? How do you relate to the Colonial Theatre? How did you find out about us? What's the sitch?
I actually was found out first about the theater. I was getting. I was in a little bit of a crossroads with the design thing. I knew I wanted to be a designer, but I didn't know how and what I wanted to do. And I saw a solo show that Mondo had put up that was Jay Shaw. It was his retrospective. And it was all these old exploitation horror posters. And they put this exhibition on. I saw this and I'm like, that's it. I want to do this. What they just did with him is exactly what I want to do. Now, how do I do that? So fast forwarded a little further, and the Colonial had been screening. They were supposed to screen The Warriors, during one of the screening, and they got sent Friday the 13th instead. So it was a little bit of a snafu.
I remember that. That was fun.
Yep. So I kind of reached out on a whim, and I said, I got a few horror posters that I've made. I don't have anything Friday the 13th, but I've got some posters. If it's okay to stand in, if you guys will have me, I'd love to come out. And they said, sure, come on out. And we don't really. It was kind of a last minute thing. They were kind of in a situation, so they either way they let me come out. And I got bad anxiety with things, and I was like, man, I don't know, like Tom Whalen's here, and Tom's amazing, and he's doing his thing. This is big shoes. I don't know. Like they're probably gonna be like, who's this guy? And just naturally, I was getting all those feelings. And I went in there, and they were so welcoming. Like they welcomed me in like they had known me for forever. And I was like, wow, that's a great feeling. So they brought me in and did pretty well, sold a few posters, and generally just hung out and just talked to people, and it ended up being really positive, and they were very receptive. And I was like, wow, this could be something. I hope I get to do this again at some point. And I talked to a few Nick and Chuck, and they said, what, we're doing a screening of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Do you want to do our poster for it? And after that happened, I did the poster, and it just catapulted. And then, of course, I got into screen printing a year later, and then said, I want to screen print them. Let's do that. And then that just blew things out of the water, and people just went. It just astronomically just took off. Like it became a thing where it was synonymous for the screening, where they're like, "Are you doing a poster for it?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, we need the poster.
Because first I was just kind of there as like a fill-in, and then they started asking me, "Are you doing a poster?"
So how many years ago was that?
Oh man, I don't. It's got to be at least 7-8 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, I'm terrible with timing. I'm really bad with it.
So good. It's a construct, whatever.
It's definitely,
especially during these times.
Oh yeah,
it's like March was like yesterday. Oh wait, no.
No, it's definitely been some time, because the amount of projects we've done since then have been like mind blowing to me. Like what we've done in that theater collectively is shocking. Like how cool that is.
Yeah, for people that don't know that are watching, obviously there's a great sense of community going on with our collective. I like to call it a collective of humans that are involved, and especially with our Cult and Fright Nights. There's a whole board that puts together the themes and the films that they want to show on the Cult and Fright Nights. They usually happen on a Friday night, I believe. And what happens in those, we have some artists, local vendors that sell posters and art at those before you sort of go in. And it's really cool because it's, you see the same faces, and you see new faces that are like, oh, I like that one particular film. And they come and they realize, oh, there's this really cool art. It's like I like to think of it as like a gallery before you even go into the theater, because there's so many different artists as well.
You can actually see what you're into before you even go into the actual event itself. And before you know it, you're kind of taken in, and they're like, oh, you guys do this too? Like this is what else you do? And I'm like, yeah, we're doing it in conjunction with. And then once people realize that, they're like, I'm in, I want that. They immediately want to be part of it.
So Jill is saying in the comments that she likes your background.
Thank you.
what are they your skateboards, or are they?
Yeah, all of them are skateboards. I've been a Black Label Skateboards fan since I've been 13 years old, and I'm obviously older than 13, so it's been a little bit. But
only by about 10 years.
Yeah, right? 10, 12 years maybe. But but I've been collecting these boards because the art on them, it's inspiring to me to see the graphic progression. And I come into this room and I'm immediately inspired. Like I'm around things that inspire me. And I was like, I want to make this wall a reality. So during the quarantine, the first 2 weeks, painted the walls, made the racks, and displayed them properly. And it's been a feel good ever since. Ever since I've been in here, it's just like, wow, I come in here, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's make some art. Let's get it. So
done. That's where you do all your art projects.
Oh yeah,
that's what you create.
Yeah. So it's been a kind of a jump start, like a throttle for it. But I also enjoy them. Sometimes I just like to sit and look at them.
So I was just thinking that we were talking about the Colonial, like now that it's been closed for, well, it's open again now. We are open again. But the fact that it was closed for quite a while, what have you kind of missed the most about the Colonial and those art and Fright Night situations?
I miss the interaction more than anything. I miss connecting with people directly at the level that we connect. Someone comes through the doors, pays a ticket price, and they walk over to your table and they take a look at the artwork and they're here for the movie and they're just so excited to be here. I mean, they're just like, well, this is my night. I'm going to have a great night. I miss those because I really value every single interaction with every person during that. Like for me, even if it's friends I've known for years, people I've just met, for me, it's every interaction during that screening at that night is everything because people came out. Like, so I miss the camaraderie. I miss the entire feeling of people coming together to enjoy an evening. That's what I miss personally. I mean, you can't duplicate that. You really can't.
And there's nothing that can kind of duplicate that feeling during all of this either, which everyone that I've spoke to on these happy hours, from it be Chuck or Melissa or even Fancy and Don from our drag shows, that the Colonial has this umbrella of community with it, and everyone's kind of said something that relates back to the sense of an experience where people are enjoying something together. And yeah, I really miss that too, because that's a big part of my job. I'm the engagement coordinator, and I'm finding it very hard to engage with people when it's through a screen.
It is. It's totally different, and you know, it's really the feeling. I mean, I could make posters in my room for anybody at any point, but when I walk through the doors of that theater and I have a piece of art to present for the movie being screened, and I know that that's going to make somebody's experience that much better, like, it's priceless. Like, you can't. That's exactly why we all do this. I mean, we all I've got a core group of friends from the theater that everybody, every time we've spoken, have said that this is why it gets done. This is what makes it what it is, and that's right. I mean, that's correct. Like, that feeling is real, and it can't be duplicated. Like, it's as authentic as it gets. And for me, that's something that you miss, but you know you'll get it back. You know, because it's never going to go anywhere. It's just kind of it's a delay.
It's on pause.
It's on pause. We're going to get it back because it never went anywhere to begin with. It just can't happen at the moment. So.
Chuck says here in the comments, and he misses us both, so that's good.
Sam, that's one of my favorite people on the planet. Yeah, Chuck is one of my favorite people. We've had many a talk, many a screening, many a drink, many a heart to heart. We've had a lot of those, and he understands exactly what I mean. I know that when I said that he gets it, completely gets it.
One of my favorite things about Chuck is when I first moved to the area in 2017, I used to work at Still City Coffee House as a barista, and people used to be like, "Oh, you're the guy with the hair," because I had sort of the modern day pompadour version of his hair, the 2017 version. Not the cool, throwback version. And people are like, "Oh, you're like that guy with the hair." And I was like, "Wait, I am the guy with the hair." So I then became the British guy with the hair, and he's the guy with the hair. Yeah. And then I met him, and I was like, "You're the guy with the hair, right?" He was like, "Well, yes."
It's like, "Well, now, yeah."
He had a drink in his hand. I was like, "Yes."
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I know I'm never going to be as cool as him, and it pains me to this day.
You don't even have to worry about it. For me, it's like some people have a natural charisma about themselves. we should just be happy to be part of that.
Exactly.
My whole thing is don't duplicate that. Just be glad that you got a friend who's like that guy. Just be happy that you got somebody who's friends with you who's that. And yeah, he was exceptionally welcoming. Him and Nick Lombardo, Joel Rickenback, Bob, they were all very, very welcoming when I first started. I remember just being so anxious about it. Like, I was really not doing well. And they welcomed me in like they had known me for years. And I'm like, we got something. Like, this is, I can't believe these guys are being this cool to me, and they don't even know me. And it turns out that they did know me because I was them the whole time. I just didn't know it personally. And years later, here we are doing this. And we've made it into something just astronomically special. Which is
talking
amazing.
About doing this, we have the honor of you doing our Kill Bill poster this week, which is so exciting because it's so cool. We'll show it in just a minute once I get the technical situation together. But the poster is so cool, and like, who did Bob ask you to do it? Is that what happened, or you were like, I have an idea?
He asked me if I was interested, and I was like, yeah, anything Tarantino I'm interested in. Like, that sounds great. And then I said I would work up a concept, and at this point, those guys know that when I say I'll work up a concept, that I've got it under control. Pretty much, like it's just going to happen. And I just ended up throwing it down. I was like, "Here it is," and he's like, "Oh." So I just kind of like throwing down an idea and a poster and having them just be like, "Wow, that's our poster." I mean, that's cool to me for personally, like to see them get excited about it.
I mean, it's super cool. Let's see if we can. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show your poster as well as some other ones that you created for us as well, so we can kind of speak about them. So you go by. So what is Quilt Face? If you can explain to me and our viewers what Quilt Face is.
So Quilt Face was something that came up. It was me and 3 other friends. We were all designers. We had no idea what we were going to do after college as far as the art thing. We just sat around basically trying to figure it out. So we watched a bunch of old, horror movies, B movies. So like, we should be an art collective. We should just kind of be a group that does everything.
Yeah.
And they said, well, what should we call ourselves? And we watched a trailer for Terror Tunes, and there was a trailer on that one for a movie called Carnage, The Legend of Quilt Face. And it's a movie that's such a bad Leatherface ripoff. Like it's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's really, really poorly done for the right reasons. Like it's really bad. And we just all laughed about it. And we're like, we should just call ourselves that because like we're not going to take ourselves seriously, but at the same time, we're very much here to stay. So it's like, hey, we're just doing this for fun, but we're not going anywhere. And it kind of stuck, and we all kind of agreed that we liked it. And we may have had a few beverages that kind of, maybe not. But either way, it kind of stuck. And then years later, it just kind of fizzled, and I kind of ran with it. I was like, I don't want this to kind of go away. I thought that's sentimental to me. I want to develop it. So, I'm still friends with those guys, but we all have different lives now. It's different,
So you are the spearhead of Quilt Face now.
Yeah, I mean, I am, but I didn't want it to seem like I took it and ran with it without anybody. Like it was never my intention to do that. It was more of I just had the intention to develop it a little further than it was and keep it going. Cause like I always had a vision of that. Like, let's make this into something. And, it's always sentimental for me, like of all the good times we had and all the stuff we'd sit around brainstorming and, doing stuff and coming up with concepts and things. And I just wanted to build it into something more than I wanted to take something that was basically like some bullshit that we did and make it legit. Kind of like, hey, let's make it a thing. And then we did. And that was cool to me because it became something that it never should have. It never should have gotten past just 4 friends, like, messing around, making stuff. So,
but that's
I just
enjoy it. I think
yeah.
to the talent of you guys that obviously, particularly from your artwork that I've seen, like that it just, what's the word? It snowballed. That's the word. Down to be like, okay,
it does.
It
definitely does that. It completely comes, like everything comes from something, for people to say this is 100% original is never true. It's basically your twist on what you've been inspired by, which is important. But I just didn't want this to go away from our original pure intent. So I didn't develop this brand entirely all the way through, despite those guys for not doing it. I just loved it so much and everything we had done that I didn't want to see it die. I just wanted to keep it going somehow. So it was never my intent to just take it and run. It was more of I think we got something special and I don't want to see it fizzle out. That was more my thing.
I get that. Like you want to keep that spark alight, and I understand that. So
definitely.
With this is your logo, but is this your usual logo, or is this special for the times right now?
This is special for the times right now, which is not intentional. I just really love Russian gas masks. I just love them. So the Q down where it says quarantine, the Q is actually our logo. It's a little ball bearing logo. But I kind of wanted to do something just fun for it, and people seem to really like this. So I'm like, let's kind of just do it. It's fun. I might make a sticker out of it at some point.
I like that. Yes, I think you should, because I like that you usually do more horror or cult-esque films, and I really like that you portray that niche and really, show that within your artwork, which we'll get onto. But particularly with this, I mean, you're saying it's the Russian gas masks, which I see that, but it also is giving me a little bit of that Doctor Who episode.
Yep, it's both.
I give my money.
It's a little bit of both. Yeah, for people that have said that,
that.
I'm like, you're not wrong. That's right on the money.
So let's go on to the next piece. I believe this is our Kill Bill poster. Which,
sweet.
if you haven't seen it already, this is it, and it's amazing. Now you're seeing right here, you're thinking, what? There's two pieces here? No, this is all one piece, because Chris, you do this amazing thing where you can make things glow in the dark.
Yep,
so
it was a special deal I signed with the devil that he allowed me to make. No, actually, that's not true. It's invisible ink that you treat as a layer on top of the other inks that allows you to, under a black light and regular lights, choose up to actually enhance an image so it will glow forward. So the ink goes on almost like a glazed donut, like a glaze.
Right.
And when it's activated by a black light or a flashlight, the black light, I think, is better because it's kind of like really juices it up. It gives it extra power. You want some extra power for it, the black light's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
But when you put a regular light on there and turn the lights out, you're greeted with the second image, which I was like, well, I've got to start doing that. That's so many good ideas I could do. I could hide ideas in an idea.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just looking at it on the screen. I'm like down here, like. I have so many questions. First of all, I love that it's yellow, the glow in the dark, because yellow is the theme of Kill Bill for me. That's the color that's always eccentric to it. I love that you have the death list there.
Oh yeah, definitely important.
So you obviously designed. Did you design one image and then you said, okay, I'm going to do the glow in the dark one as well? Like, how did that thought process happen?
I'll usually draw out a concept and say possible glow in the dark layer over this layer. So I'll always kind of entertain it, but I will design them differently. But at the same time, they've got to be in sync, because if the glow in the dark goes over a dark color, very dark, you don't see it very well. So I've got to be aware of at all times of where that glow layer is going, because if I don't, you're not going to see it that great. So I kind of have to do it almost in succession of one another. I've got to design the first image with glow in the dark in mind. If I'm going to do it, I've got to be mindful of it. So it's kind of almost it's got to be in sync at the same time. I've got to know where and what and how it's working.
So I also want to know, what does the Japanese mean on the top?
I wish I knew that. I took it from one of the original Japanese Tarantino posters. I
thought you would have known. That's what I've been waiting to ask you that question.
I do not.
Oh,
no.
It's gonna kill me.
I know. I know. I didn't have the time to translate anything, nor the patience. I'll be honest, but I know that it was integral, and I did research it. It showed up on more than one poster, and I'm like, okay, this is going to go on.
It means something.
It definitely is relevant, but
if anybody knows, put it in the comments, and I'll make you a drink. I don't know how I'll get it to you, but I'll make.
But it'll happen. Exactly.
So yes, to conclude that section, we are showing Kill Bill Volume 1. The spacing and the seating is limited, obviously due to COVID-19 and our safety measures. If you want more details, please look on our website, our Facebook, which you're obviously on right now. But please look on our website for tickets and times for those, and we'll drop a link in our comments as well for you to look for those. But yeah, I love this poster so much. And I don't think I have it in the slideshow from what I remember, but you also did a very similar one to this to one of my favorite films, Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
I love that one. Let's have a take a look at the next one. Oh, yes, you designed our Blobfest one this year.
I'm going to be very, very upfront with it and say that I have been waiting for years to be given the opportunity to do something for Blobfest. Like, ever since I started with the theater, I've always wanted to do this. So to get it this year, it's like, it's amazing. Like, when they said, we want you to do Blobfest, I'm like, oh my God, finally, I'm so happy. Like, all I wanted to do was do it and be part of it. And it finally happened.
I mean, this is like, since I've been working with the theater, this is one of my favorites that we've ever had. Like, I love in the glow and dark version that you can see the skeletons within the blob, that you incorporate the theater right there with people running out.
Oh, yeah.
The running out portion, which is actually funny, I think that's actually from one of the runouts and not the film. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like it's from one of the actual runouts.
We got some trivia down here. IMDb trivia. This is good.
Do we have the Japanese for the Kill Bill?
We do have it. The Japanese symbols on the background of the poster spell, say Kirubiru. I'm not saying that right at all. But apparently it translates into Japanese spelling for Kill Bill, which is
awesome. Amazing.
I feel better knowing what it is now.
Well, I mean, it says the name of the movie, so that's perfect.
I hope it wasn't like, briefcase or, something
where people get like those tattoos and you're like, that probably means like fish.
Yeah, or something like. It really means like, like air conditioning or something. Like, you didn't get that right at all.
Yeah, so. It's like an ad for the air conditioning.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
that's good trivia. I'm very glad that Gianna came through with that and gave us no
idea.
I'm very happy. Now we can all kind of relax. This is good.
Yeah, I'm like, we know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Blobfest one amazing. Whose eyes are that in the poster? Do you know?
I do not.
That's another piece of trivia we need to know.
I used some like stock photography of the eyes to kind of just make them wider, and I had to actually expand them out. But my original design had a melted skull in it, and they had said that maybe it was a little bit much, for Blobfest being more of a family oriented thing. So I kind of brought it back a little bit, and we did this.
And, we could we can make, if we ever show the 80s version, we can maybe do it for that.
Sure, yeah, we can do it for that and make a pink version. Sure.
Yes, there we. See, I love not the cheesiness of the 80s version, but both of the Blob films to me have such a stamp of the time period that they were made in.
Yeah, it's very clear that that's where it was.
Yeah, and I think I would love for them to I kind of want to remake it again.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I feel like if the right person got a hold of it, it would be amazing.
It would would go one of two ways. It would go like blockbuster smash of like, wow, these effects are amazing. This was really cool how they did this. The storyline, wow. Or it would be, this is not even a B movie. This is like a Z movie. Like, it would be like, ugh, why do we do this?
So for anybody who's waiting for Blobfest merchandise, I delivered the posters yesterday. I can tell you that the printing on the posters, you will not be disappointed. It is well worth the wait. Everything came out fabulous. The colors are unbelievable. The glow layer works great. So when they get to you, you'll be very satisfied. They're going to do their best to turn over all that merch, but I can assure you that it is worth the wait. I mean, I did the test on it and was like, wow, that's perfect. People are going to be very happy.
There is an official statement on Blobfest merch. I know some people are very heavily waiting for it, so we obviously got all the orders for it, and I know they will wait for the last few bits of it to ship to us. Yep. And everyone who ordered Blobfest merchandise is going to receive an email letting you know about the plans for the shipping. Or if you are a Phoenix or local or in the area, you have the option to pick it up at the theatre at a scheduled time. But you'll get an email. Don't worry, your emails will be sent to you.
Definitely.
It's all good. So I know you're very excited for it, but it's coming soon.
And it will be worth the wait.
Check those emails.
I've seen them because I've got them in print, but it's well worth the wait. So anybody
I've seen a few of the pieces too, and it is
anyone who grabbed Blobfest posters this year, thank you. I mean, we're the different different scenario because of the COVID times, but anyone who actually made it a point to snatch a poster up, like that means everything to me. So I didn't know I was going to do it. My first Blobfest is under a pandemic time, and I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, damn it, how am I going to do this? I want to be on hand selling these in person and hanging out, and I couldn't. And
2021.
The fact that anybody, exactly. Here's hoping that I get to do the 2021 because these were very well received, and anyone who really grabbed one, like, you really made me feel very happy about that, despite having to deal with all this. So I really appreciate everyone who grabbed that and was excited about it. So really, thank you. Like that means a lot.
So we're gonna look on some more of your artwork right now. I put these in yesterday, so let's see who's next. This one.
Yeah.
So we have two alternate versions here. Are these alternate versions, or is this a glow in the dark situation?
Just
what's going on here?
Alternate version. One is Barnwood. One is Dead Meat.
Yeah. how did I not notice the dead meat version? I saw the barnwood and I was like, oh, I like the texture of the dead meat one.
And the dead meat sold out very quickly. People love the dead meat. They were about it.
Oh my goodness. It's so cool.
Also, some trivia about me. That is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Oh, really? I do love, and I love that you incorporate. My favorite scene in the movie is when he's running.
Oh,
and that is that right there. That's the scene where he's running.
I've seen it hundreds of times, and you think he's still going to get her. He's so close to getting her. He's so close.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Absolute madness. and then it just I'm like, how is she not? He's right there. How the hell is that happening?
She's the, what do they call it? The final girl.
Final girl, right? Yeah.
There's a final girl playlist on Spotify, and it is so good.
Yeah. Absolutely. So to the late Marilyn Behrens as a final girl, one of my favorite final girls.
Oh, cheers.
Good, an absolutely remarkable performance. That's memorable beyond a shadow of a doubt.
And actually, they got greenlit for the remake recently, over the last week.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so they're starting to record it soon, apparently. So I mean, that should be interesting. I mean, you can't really remake something that's so good, but I wish it was the Blob, but here we are.
In due time, we'll get the right person on the Blob, and we'll be okay.
This is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Oh, that's so good. Alien is perfect.
Alien, and I love this poster where you've incorporated both the egg and the xenomorph in it as well. Obviously with H.R. Giger's work, Giger. Tell me a little bit about this piece.
This one just kind of came about. I just wanted to do the entire mechanical and organic aspect of the organisms, like where it comes from. So I was like, okay, so we've got the egg, which starts it all, and then it eventually grows into this. So this is the origin, and this is the final. Yeah. And I kind of wanted to show them simultaneously, and then I really liked the way that the eggs spaced out the typography, and I'm like, oh, I really, really like that.
Yeah, so that's really in time with Ridley Scott's how he spaces it out during the total sequence. Right. Yeah.
So the group I'm affiliated with, Poster Posse, they did an Alien tribute, and I said, I'm going to do something for that, and this is how this came about, and it ended up being really well received as far as people being like, it's simple, but it's exactly what we need for this. It's pretty much the correlation of start to finish, the egg to the final xenomorph. And
but it's funny that you say that. I'm seeing the juxtaposition between the organic looking of the eggs and then the mechanic looking of the xenomorph. I wanted
to kind of to blend the worlds together and being like, here's where it starts and here's where it ends. Here's what comes from this. And it was really seamless. It ended up being kind of really free flowing when it worked. Wow, that just kind of happened. Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of meant to be how it
kind of meant to be, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Next one we got. Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow. Oh,
this is cool.
This is pre-screen printing days. Okay.
It is?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to surprise you with
some of these, that I found. Wow. So for the people that don't know, I actually didn't show Chris which ones I was going to show him. So
I'm as surprised as all of you.
I did some digging, and I wanted to show him some ones. So.
Oh, that's fun. Wow, that's great.
I really like this one. The colors are great. I love that it shows all the different ones. This is from 2011.
Oh man,
this is crazy.
Holy shit! It's been that's
maybe
not a cliche. The time does fly, people. That's not a cliche at all. That's real life. I mean, 2011. Yeah, there it is, right there. I mean, I did this for a reunion at a convention to get all the final girls to sign, and I've got one signed by all the final girls at a convention.
Oh, you do? Oh, I should have mentioned it, and then I could have got you to show it.
Yeah, it's way in my archives. I don't even know where it is. I know I have it. I don't know where it is, but everybody has signed this, and
oh, that's really cool.
It's crazy that this one's being showcased because this is way back when I was trying to figure out if I was going to be a 2-color minimalist or if I was going to go past. I was kind of just experimenting. I'm like, I don't know anything. I'm just going to kind of make stuff and see what happens.
I don't know. This one just really spoke to me. I really, really liked it. And I was like, I want to showcase this one. There's just the way she's whimsically in the boat, obviously, and then the thought of him tied up. I just really liked it. So
I'm glad to see this one. I'm always happy to see the early stuff. Some artists are like, "Oh my god, my early work," and I'm like, "That's the way to know where you came from." Or your
but it's
early
really
work.
cool to see your journey from there. I think.
Right. I think the early work is great because you can see where you were and now where you are. I think seeing early work is wonderful. I'm never like, "Oh my god, what was I thinking?" I'm more of a, "That's where I was and this is where I am."
Yeah, I still feel like it has your signature like style on it, and
it's still me. Yeah, it's still me. It's just not quite as me as it is now. It's hints of where I'm going.
I can see it. I can see it right there. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's one of your pieces.
It's kind of if I can kind of synonymously like leave it. It's kind of like, okay, it's when you listen to Blur and you're like, hey, there's gorillas almost. It's almost gorillas, but not quite. This is this poster. Until
we have a question. We have a question from Gianna. She liked your style. She's curious, who are your artistic inspirations?
Oh, honestly, for me, for posters, it's other artists. I like, and inspiration also comes from film. Like I will react to a film versus say if it's good or not. So I'll go see a movie and I'll just immediately react to it just naturally. So I saw Hereditary in the theater and...
Oh, wait, is that... Oh, there we go.
There you go.
You saw what film?
Yep. And I just was like, I got to do something for that. Like today, I got to put everything on hold and do this. And I got really obsessed with it super fast. My first concept for Hereditary that I drew out when I put it down on the computer was so terrible, I almost laughed at it. I'm like, that's fucking terrible.
Was it still the bird head? Or
no, it was more of a periodic table of how like possession works. And I'm like, this just looks like a scientific grid. So I was like, maybe if I kind of interwoven those things into an organic aspect, it would work. So I drew out the bird and I'm like, how do I do it? I'm like, I'll make the eye, I was like, oh, I can make the ants an anthill.
Yeah.
And after that happened, I'm like, I'm so glad my first idea didn't work. Like, I'm so happy it didn't work at all because this is exactly what I wanted to do.
So two things. I'm very curious to see your first idea. If you have a draft of that, I would love to see it because this is one of my favorite horror movies of, was it 2019 or 2018?
Yeah, 18. I think it's 18.
18. I think it was so great. And I think that Toni Collette was... I feel like horror films don't
Toni Collette should have won an Oscar for it, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think horror films get the same look in as other genres of film for Academy Awards. And I think she was so wonderful great in this film.
Absolutely, completely out of her mind, and she should have won that.
I mean, the entire main cast was great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That was, yeah.
But if you haven't seen this film, it is messed up in the best kind of ways. Definitely
see it and form your own opinion. Because for me, I have people that loved it or hated it, but at least see it because it's going to make you feel either way.
I went in not knowing anything, and I think that is the best way to go into it.
Oh yeah, you got to go in cold. Like don't go in expecting anything. Just go in ready to just get hit. It's kind of the same thing as when you walk into the into the ocean and you're like, I'm not going to have anything. I'm just going to let the waves hit me, and wherever I go, I go. This is what you should do with this movie. Yeah, absolutely.
And then this poster will make complete sense. You'll be like,
exactly.
This is terrifying. Let's actually backtrack a bit. I know I skipped past one to get to this. This is the first poster I saw of yours while I worked at the Colonial, actually. And I really love this one. And also, this is a spoiler.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Friday 5, now you have.
Yes.
I'm sorry for anybody who hasn't seen it because now there's the end.
There's the spoiler.
Sorry about that.
But, yes, who's behind the mask?
Yeah, but Friday 5 is a perfect Friday movie because it has everything for everyone. There's something for everyone in this movie. Like, there's a character, a kill, a vibe. There's something in this movie that everyone can kind of at least feel like, oh, that's cool. I mean, it's an all-inclusive Friday. It's one of my personal favorites.
An all-inclusive
all-inclusive, right. You get everything, right. So
everyone gets murdered.
Everyone gets killed in the best way, and it's fun for you and to see how it works. But this one is really, they really kind of spread it out so that you could get something in there for everybody. It's very truly all-inclusive.
Yes, and
And
another one of your glow in the dark situations, which I
oh, that was
love.
fun. The hard part was doing the typography because in Friday I had to do the R, the D, and the Y. I had to make the D and O, and that was really challenging.
Oh
So,
yeah, I'm like seeing how you like did it. Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy how you did that though. You managed to make that work. I
Ah,
also love
Chuck,
that.
right there. Everyone get a cathartic high when Sheldon gets it. Be honest. Yeah, he's, yeah. That's 100% right. We were all stoked.
Just finally.
Right there it is. There we go. He's not wrong.
Let's go on to our next one after Hereditary. This was my favorite film of the year.
What
this
a
came
masterpiece this was.
What masterpiece this piece of artwork is as well, because
thank you.
honestly, I claimed the Colonial's the official poster for it, which was I think it was it had a few different posters, which was really cool about Parasite. They actually did a lot of different posters by different artists as their official posters as alternative.
Oh, yeah.
One was on the rock that the sun carried around. They were all sort of on the island of a rock. It was really cool. And then one was like a staircase that was flipped where
I remember
the main family were on top and their
the other family was on the bottom. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But I have the official release one, which is kind of where they have their eyes covered by it's
like a black bar. Yep.
And then there's someone lying on the ground, but you don't know who it is. I won't spoil it for anyone. But onto your piece, if you could tell me a little bit about how you interpreted it and how it got onto being in an apple and stuff like that.
So without spoiling it, I mean, at this point, if you haven't seen Parasite, you don't want to. So at this point, no, that's a problem.
Nothing smashed. We're good.
That's good. It sounded pretty
Carry
bad.
on, I'll pick it up.
All right. So Parasite, they had this part in the movie where it was where they used peaches and they were trying to sabotage, it was a situation of trying to sabotage somebody with the peach, and they used the peach dust because the in-house nanny was allergic, and they wanted her to appear sick, so they would end up firing her and hiring.
Why did I call it an apple?
So, they used a razor blade to scrape the peach dust off the peach so it wouldn't be completely obvious, and that's kind of great to me because the amount of painstaking care it would take to sabotage somebody was it was bothersome to me. I'm like, wow, they really went out of their way to do that. And I just wanted to do the peach aspect. And I'm like, so what if I did a razor blade inside the peach and there was the pit at the bottom and then the house at the top and the person under it? Well, it really sold me. And I was like, that person, they don't even realize it.
Is that the person who has been there, or is that the dad?
That could be up to you, honestly.
Oh.
I'm leaving it up to the viewer. So,
because it could be two people.
It could be anyone, right? So, my whole thing is, it's who you think it is. And
that's so cool.
I had a guy order this poster, and a week later, he sends me an all caps email. Holy shit! There's a guy in the razor blade. I didn't even see that. And I was just like, how'd you not see that? He's like, did you know that? I'm like, yeah, I put him there. Of course.
You're like,
I absolutely know that.
Yeah,
there are no accidents in my posters. I don't do accidents. I do purpose, and I do hidden things. If you pick up on that, that's wonderful. If you don't, that's okay too. But if you do, I'm extra excited if you do. If you pick up on it.
Let's go through a few of yours quickly, and then we're going to go on to one that I want to sort of spotlight. You've also done Pumpkinhead, which is a very underrated film, which I've not seen, but I've seen the trailer and everything like that.
I did Pumpkinhead way back for the Colonial in an 12 by 18 format, and I always wanted to revisit it because years later I had a better vision of it. And I'm like, I kind of want to go back to the idea but build it up.
Well, so I would love to see it on the big screen, so maybe we need to do it again.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead is a sad movie. It is sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a heartbreaking film. I mean, if you get down to it, it is really a lot of bad road. Like, it's just like, wow, no wonder. I mean, you can't blame the guy. So,
you're like, oh. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, watch the trailer. It's spooky and it's,
Yeah, it's a sad,
Edward Scissorhands. We did have, we were talking about Tim Burton a few weeks ago on our happy hour as well, so I had to include this.
Oh, yes.
We've also got another Halloween one just here.
4 and 5. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands is one of the movies that I will legit ugly cry at the end at. It
Oh,
is,
really?
oh my God. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. I mean, it's beautifully heartbreaking.
And then what else have we got here? Slaughterhouse. So I
Slaughterhouse.
don't know this movie, but I loved what you did with it making it look like a diploma.
Oh, you gotta see this. This is so fun. Like this is a great slasher, like a wonderful slasher. Yeah, definitely see this one. This is a good time. Like, there's no other way for me to do this. I'm like, I got to do that. That's what I gotta do.
It looks so cool. And I love that you have, it says in the bottom, if you can't see it, if you're watching on a phone, 30mm screening following commencement on Friday, May 6th, 9:45 at the Colonial Theatre.
Yeah, I kind of built it into a graduation ceremony.
So cool.
That was a lot of fun.
Midsummer, which is an incredible movie. I just love all the colors that you did in this. And
one of my friends got this tattooed on her thigh recently, and she sent me a picture of it.
The flower or the hand?
The hand and the flower both on the top of her thigh, and I was like, that's amazing.
Well, tattoos, we're about to get to that, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
You did a horror bowl poster for this year as well, which is great.
Also fun.
Which was so great. We showed In the Mouth of Madness, Prince of Darkness, and The Thing.
Yeah.
So, like, 3 great movies right there. And also, you've been collaborating with Adroit Theory Brewing, which is in... Where is it again?
Virginia.
I knew it was somewhere close, but not too far away.
There it is.
So the Mad Ham Project, so you're showing up the beer right now.
Yep.
Yes. We'll show a little bit of a close-up of you showing that when we do our beverages so everyone can see it in person. But
absolutely.
So you've also done that. And also, this is the one that we wanted to spotlight.
This one's, there's a lot of history here.
Yes. Event Horizon. So obviously a very cult big film at the same time. Now, tell me a little bit about this piece, because I love it, and I love that it gives that 3D, I can't remember the name of the artist, but the Endless Stairs situation, but more spherical.
MC Escher, yep. You were looking for, yep. So this I had an original idea for, and I drew it out, and when I finally put it down on the computer, it was so terrible. I almost laughed. I'm like, this is awful. So I didn't know what to do. I was kind of panicked, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I ended up just sitting there. I watched a trailer a few times. I ended up just I don't know what it was. I just got pissed, and I was like, I got to get this right. Event Horizon's a benchmark horror film for me. I got to get this right. So I ended up getting pissed, and I ended up just eating some pizza and drinking a bunch of bourbon, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go. Whatever's gonna come out, it's gonna come out. And this came out, and as I started to develop it, I was like, wow, that's terrifying. I got to develop this. So once I got the general concept, I developed it. When it finally turned into this, I was like, oh my God, that's it. This is it. I've got it. I got to put some type on the bottom, and we're good. That's it. And it was just so raw. I remember showing it to a friend of mine, and he's like, that's the most evil thing you've ever put on paper. That is
it's
all.
So standout. It reminds me of, well, it doesn't remind me of, I feel like you gave inspiration to, it's very American Horror Story. They always have promotion pictures that incorporate, especially females as well. Bodies being incorporated into the horror theme of that season. And this is I feel like directly inspired that kind of look, because it incorporates all the things, the mechanic, and
I mean, I couldn't believe what came out, and I'm like, oh my God, this is nightmare fuel. I got to roll with this. And I sent it down to Nick and Chuck, and they were just like, holy shit, that is terrifying. And I'm like, I know, I don't even want to kind of be in the same room with it, honestly. It just kind of came out, and I'm like, oh shit, that's bad road right there. That's a lot of bad road.
Well, some people not only wanted it in the same room as them, they wanted it on their body.
Yes, they did.
So before I show the next slide, can you tell a little bit of the story about how this was tattooed on someone?
So I wake up to my phone just going nuclear on my nightstand, just messages, whatever, texts, private messages, whatever. people just tagging me in this, and I'm like, what? I didn't even put anything out new this week. There's no reason for this. I don't get this. So I click it, and there's a woman, and she's got this tattooed on her head, and I think it's body paint. At first, I think it's just body paint. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. I was like, that's really good
body paint. Yeah.
So then I scroll down further, and it says art by Paul Booth, and I'm like, that's a tattoo. That's a tattoo art. I was like, Paul Booth is a top dog in the tattoo business.
Wow.
And yeah, I was like, is that real? So I clicked it, and I'm like, holy shit, she did that permanently. I couldn't get back. I didn't even know what to do. I sat there in silence for like an hour. Did she really do that?
So to show everyone, this is probably the image that Chris saw that morning.
Yeah.
So that's the finished product on her face.
She's literally my poster. She is a living version of my poster.
And then this is the close-up of the tattoo being made. She literally shaved her head and had the tattoo on her face. That is a commitment, right there.
I've never seen anybody do that in such a way where they've been that committed. And I've got a few tattoos, and the amount of pain that's got to be has got to be off the charts. I mean, that it'd be right over the cheekbone and the. I'm like, nah.
Just like on the back of her head and like on that really bony part.
And I just couldn't believe how amazing it looked. I'm like, you actually really look like my poster. Like you look like it's like life imitating art, literally.
The closest thing that I can think of that's similar to this is the guy who said he passed away, who has the skull tattoo. He's called Zombie Boy. Was his like?
I know who you mean.
That was the closest thing I've seen to anything like this, and I know this is insane. So just back on up that you can see it is exactly the same as the poster.
I'll literally never get over that. There's no way for me to ever be like, yeah, whatever. She got a tattoo. Like I can't.
Have you met her?
No, but we've spoken.
Where does she
live? Houston. We've actually corresponded through email and message, and I'm like, if I'm ever at a convention out by you, come by. Like I want to meet you. I want to see this in person. It's remarkable, and she's absolutely awesome. She's very sweet, but that tattoo is just that's unreal. Like it is. That's completely next level. I'll never get over that. I don't think I'm ever going to be like, oh, whatever, that's just a tattoo. It's never going to happen.
I know someone has that forever. That's an amazing sentiment to, I think, your artwork and your talent as well.
Yeah, I can't believe someone did that to the point of like, not even really compromising their like job security, but they felt so much they needed to become that image that they did. It was amazing to me. Yeah, that's I can't ever get past that.
So I'm going to make a drink now because we've been chatting for so long, which has been great, but we need to get to some beverages. I mean, my drink, luckily I finished it before it crashed on the floor.
Oh, that's good news.
So there was nothing to mop up, which is good.
That is very good.
But I'm just going to remove those and I'm going to turn everybody to my beverage section. Da-da-da.
Yes.
Look at this, all like perfectly lined up. So for those of you that don't know, the Colonial did post on our social media yesterday our drink inspired by not Kill Bill but by Pulp Fiction, which has Uma Thurman in still as the lead role. Mia's milkshake. So there's a famous scene where her and John Travolta's character, drink a milkshake, and John Travolta doesn't like the pricing of it per se. I won't recreate exactly what he said because it's a little bit early for that. So we did put our full ingredients and situation for it online. So if you would like to recreate this, you can still do that. But this is our situation right here. So it's Mia's milkshake. We have our 1 ounce of vodka. We have our coffee liqueur. And then we have our Baileys here, which is our Irish cream.
Nice.
We also have heavy cream, or I didn't have any, so I'm just using milk. So we can see how this turns out.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like a Russian of some sort. It's like a watery Russian. We'll see.
Watery Russian.
But to be honest, the less cream in something, the better. It's not going to be, too dodgy later on, if you know what I mean.
The watery Russian.
Good. We won't get into politics.
That's
so
okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some ice in a shaker. Just a bit more. And as you can see, I'm a bit more hygienic this week. I have a spoon. So there's that. So we're going to put it in the shaker. And then all you need to do, this is really easy. With all the ingredients you have, I have an ounce of each of the liqueurs or the alcohols. And I just need to put it in. So the 1 ounce vodka, which is from Bluebird Distilling, which I was saying was very nice in a vodka soda. We have our coffee liqueur, which I'm using Kahlua, which also has rum in. So this is going to be strong. Then I also have my Bailey's Irish Cream as well.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then I'll shove in my heavy cream / milk. So we'll see. And then you do the fancy shaking thing.
Of course, that's what makes it all even possible.
And then you basically shake it until it's cold and chilled. We have the recipe in our comments right now if you want to try it, if it sounds appealing to you. I'm curious to how this is going to look. I've not actually made this one before. The rest of the ones that I've ever made on this happy hour, I have made before. You can, I think the glass that we recommend is a fizz glass, but this one I think is a fizz style glass. It's my fancy cocktail glasses that I've used before. So we'll see. So I'm going to pour it out now. Can you see how you can see? Woo! Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, nice pour. Nice pour.
That's good. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, get all the good stuff out. And then, you know, because it's a milkshake, I've got to have something sweet in it. So I have here I grated up some chocolate, and I got real fancy with this. I got real bougie. It's actually Bark Thins. It's Bark Thins dark chocolate with sea salt and pretzels in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I got fancy. So I'm just gonna sort of sprinkle those to see how that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that looks good. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think it would look that good.
It looks that good. No, it looks that good.
Oh, wow. So this is Mia's milkshake. Cheers. Ding, 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 ding.
That looks that good.
This.
Yeah,
and
try that up.
Like I said, I've not tried this before, so. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That milkshake's going to bring all the boys to the yard. I believe that's
damn right. It's better than yours.
It's better than yours. Like, you could teach us, but you would definitely have to charge that.
Oh, charge a very fair amount.
Absolutely.
La. I just laughed all the garnish off. So.
I think you got some left over. You're good. You're okay.
Oh, that's good.
Well done.
Let me just. Oh. Hi, everyone. Thanks for bearing with us. Oh, let me do. There we go. I think it's all stable. I don't want to smash any more glasses. Well, I didn't smash it, but I don't want to knock anything off.
Looks like we've got a question here about.
We have a question.
Yeah, Gianna says that I showed her a sneak peek of the Us poster at Monster Mania last year. Was there one I was going to tease at Monster Mania this year that we didn't get to see?
Oh,
well, first of all,
Us featuring Lipizza Nyong'o?
Oh yeah. So, first of all, I miss the fact that there's no conventions this year. It's terrible, but I get it. It's very safe to do the postponing of conventions, but I do miss them. And there was one I was going to tease this year. It was a toss up between doing a poster for Autopsy of Jane Doe and The Lighthouse. That was the two that I was going to debut at Monster Mania.
I feel like you would slay The Lighthouse.
Oh, The Lighthouse! I've got a concept already locked in for The Lighthouse. Yeah.
Okay, actually, I have a question. If you were to do a film that is not horror related, what film would it be that you would design a movie poster for?
I was actually asked to do a poster for Mean Girls, and I'm going to do it.
Give the gays everything they want. Okay, thank you.
First of all, Mean Girls is a masterpiece in modern cinema. It's like how Clueless is. It's wonderful. My printer asked me to do it on a dare. He's like, do Mean Girls poster. I'm like, fine. That was the end of it.
Tina Fey is one of my idols, so
absolutely,
that would be amazing.
She's a legend. So,
and a local legend.
Absolutely, yeah. She's definitely somebody we could celebrate. But that's going to happen at some point.
Amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do, as we are showing Kill Bill, and as you designed our amazing Kill Bill poster, we're going to do, before the hour ends, we'll go over the hour a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of Tarantino trivia.
Yeah.
So how this is going to work is Chris and I are going to read the questions. And all you need to do is put in the comments what you think is the answer. Just guess it. Now, with these Tarantino ones, I create all the questions as I do every time we do the happy hour. But these ones are like hardcore Tarantino fans, I think.
Yeah, they're good. They're good ones.
Like, they are like, you know. So, let's see. Ba-ba-dum. Adding to the stream. Okay. Tarantino. I'll read the first one. So, just put it in the comments. You win a sip of a drink if you get it right. So let's go with question number 1. Question number 1 is, other than himself, which actor has starred in the most Tarantino films? Other than himself, which actor has appeared in the most Tarantino films? Now, I think it's quite funny. I think if I was a director, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to be in my films too. I'm going to get that directing and acting credit. Yeah. I'm just sipping my drink. This is delicious. But I feel like you can have too much of it, you know?
That's a great hybrid word, delicious. A mixture of delicious and delightful.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I actually really like that. We should definitely make that word a thing.
I feel like I stole it from a show, but I can't.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's stolen. It's still great. It's wonderful.
So, any guesses? Bob is straight in there with the answer. He thinks Samuel L. Jackson.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That is indeed correct. Yes. And
Bob,
the Colonial
He's already getting flagged for not being allowed.
Yes.
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel. So, just for context, Chris, Brenda is my mum. Hi, Mum.
Harvey Keitel was my favorite death in Taxi Driver. By the way, he gets shot in the guts and deserves it for being a pimp. But that's a great scene. Yeah. So Harvey Keitel can do no wrong.
I feel like he's there somewhere. Hello. Okay, if you would like to read out question number 2 for us.
I can do that. We've got Leonardo DiCaprio played a character named Monsignor Calvin J. Candy in which Tarantino film?
Mm-hmm. I actually just watched this one recently, which, I mean, we have discussed, but I watched this one very recently, and we both agree that it's very underrated.
Very underrated. Correct? Flies under the radar. Should definitely get a lot more love.
Yes, this is actually maybe, thinking about it, this is maybe, it could be my favorite film by his. Maybe because I've seen it most recently. I don't know.
There you go. Jackie's on it.
Yeah, Jackie is on it. Thanks, Jackie. Yes, the correct answer is Django Unchained. So good. And yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, question number... Don't want to spoil any of the answers.
No.
Question number 3. Now, I feel like this one is for the Tarantino, like, hardcore fans.
Oh, yeah.
Question number 3 is, what restaurant chain is featured in nearly every single Tarantino film?
That's a fun question.
I'll give you a clue. It's not McDonald's. No. Samuel L. Jackson is not ordering a Big Mac. That is not happening.
Royale with cheese.
Mm-hmm. So, which restaurant chain is featured in nearly every single Tarantino film? I didn't notice this until I started researching for the questions, and I went, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I believe a very prominent scene takes place in Pulp Fiction in one of these restaurants. Is that right? I feel like that's right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, Rich is on it. Rich is on it.
Rich is all over it. Yeah, that's...
I'll give him that. Oh, and Gianna as well.
Yep, there you go.
That is correct. Yeah, Big Kahuna Burger. Cheers, y'all. Well done. Correct. Congrats. Okay. Now, this question I actually used on my trivias when I used to work on cruise ships. So this is a fun one to full circle this moment to use it now. If you would like to do the honors, Chris, for question number 4.
For sure. Reservoir Dogs was Tarantino's first film as a solo director. What year was the film released?
Oh, this drink is so good.
It looks good. Yeah, I kind of want
milkshake.
I kind of want that.
Yeah, the garnish is really helping, and the thing is, I have loads of leftover garnish. I grated too much, so you know. In the theme,
just garnish everything you can tonight. Just garnish it all.
I mean, well, in the theme of Pulp Fiction, I might just snort it. You know, I don't.
I think there needs to be video of that, or it doesn't count.
I'm not going to do that. I don't recommend that. No.
No, it's not. It's not a smart idea. But if you're going to do it, you got to video it. You got to take it.
Yeah, I like my job, and I plan on keeping it. So
hang on to the job. You don't got to be responsible. Exactly.
So, what year was the Reservoir Dogs released?
Anyone got this one? Let's see.
So
Anyone?
he did have a film before this, I believe, but it was like him and like a few other directors, and I believe that the actual film got destroyed. Like the film, because
the actual film itself, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Any guesses? It's in the 90s. That's a clue. It's in the 90s, so there's a few of those to choose from. Any guesses? Anyone? We're an hour in. We've been drinking this whole hour. We don't know.
That's okay. I support that.
Going once. Any guesses? We just want to see some guesses. 93. I think my mum's only saying that because that's the year I was born. Yes, I'm a fetus.
Wow, 93. I don't even know. I'm not even going to get into the year I was born then.
90, right?
Yeah, I'll say closer to when Alien was made.
Oh my god. I know the answer to that one, but we won't go there. The correct answer
92.
is yes, 1992.
There it is.
Joe is correct.
Everyone's right on it. Very nice. Very close.
And the last question is question number 5. And question number 5 is Christopher Waltz has won 2 Oscars for supporting actor in which Tarantino films?
This is a good question.
I know, right? Isn't it crazy that he has won both of his Oscars for Tarantino films?
Yeah, this is a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Well, thank you. I'll use it again if I ever get asked to host trivia.
Oh yeah. Use this a few times. This is good for a few more.
So Christopher Waltz has won 2 Oscars for supporting actor in which Tarantino films?
Scott Derby says 1992. I miss Scott. Damn it, I miss Scott. It's one of my favorite people too. Damn it, I miss him.
So even if you get one of these films, you get a sip of your drink. I'll allow that.
I'll sip it anyway because I've been doing that. So that's cool. It's a sip either way, so you got nothing to lose.
Yeah. You win, you sip.
You're going to win anyway. Exactly right.
Exactly. They are both, I believe...
Oh.
They're both released from 2009 onwards. I see some correct answers. I see some half-correct answers.
Yeah, I do too. I'm seeing a few. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to reveal the answers. The 2 correct answers are... Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained. Yes, he was so good at Django Unchained, and obviously he was evil but great in Inglourious Basterds as well.
Yeah.
So, congrats if you got those right. Woo! Good. Cool. So, if you got any of those questions right, take a sip. If you didn't, sip in commisery. It's fine.
Yeah, sip anyway. Exactly. Derby, I miss you, buddy.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. We've had many a fun time together. I miss that guy. So I'm glad he's nice. Thanks, Bob.
So to remind everyone, we've got Kill Bill at the theater this week, but look to book your tickets online because seating is limited. We are also showing one of my favorite Robin Williams movies. We are showing Hook, which is amazing. Yeah. We're also showing a new film that's been released last month, July, Summerland, which Gemma Arterton in, and it's based in World War II Britain with an evacuee, and it's a great love story and has a modern-ish twist to it. So we've got some great films at the theatre, and we also have some virtual screenings online, including The Fight, which is about some civil rights within fights within the local government as well, which is really cool. It's a great film. So yeah, I just want to thank you, Chris, for joining us for our happy hour. This has been a great hour.
Absolutely.
It's flown by. We've been chatting. I love chatting about your pieces of art. I wish we could have chatted longer. So thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a lot of fun. And to anyone who's been supporting the Colonial during this and any other time, it's much appreciated. The theater has so much love to give everybody who puts it in. It's totally reciprocated. So we all thank you for getting to do what we get to do because of you.
Exactly. Yeah. The love that you put in, you get in return from it.
Exactly.
Where can people find you on social media?
Well, I can be found Instagram at QFSChris and Twitter at QFSChris. And my store front is Quiltface Studios at storeenvy.com if you're looking to get prints.
And I know some of the prints that we showed today within our slideshow, they are available to buy on quiltface.com.
And a lot of the ones we showed kind of low stock. So if anyone's looking to score them, now's the time. But I do appreciate everybody.
Yeah, it's Corona. We need you to buy those, please.
All good. All good.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Chris. And thank you, everyone, for joining. It's been a pleasure to host your virtual happy hour. Once again, there's cheers to go out. Cheers.
Hell yeah. Cheers.